Hi, in this episode of Data Analysis and Policy Show, I'm going to share with you 3 tips to destroy your fears and limiting beliefs regarding data analysis. So, if you want to destroy your limiting beliefs and you are a policy advisor or you are an investor, then stay with me. Hey, welcome back to this episode of Data Analysis and Policy Show. This episode is about a very important topic, which is fears. I'm going to dedicate some episodes on fear because a lot of people struggle with fear. A lot of analysts, they could be economists, they could be well educated, but they struggle with fears and limiting beliefs, especially when they have to have analysis of data. Big data, do something new. And I'm going to share 3 topics with you. Now, I'm going to share right now a limiting belief of myself. And I have destroyed this limiting belief because when I was studying economics, I could not calculate economic models. Whenever there were economic models on the board as a topic, I would just hide because I was thinking I was not smart enough for these economic models. A lot of complications, a lot of calculations, etc. I had a lot of limiting beliefs. I had a limiting beliefs that I was not the smartest kid in college and not the smartest kid in the university. Can you believe that? That limiting belief made that I did not want to take the next step to really dive in economic models. And then now, about, let's say, 30 years later, I have created 10 economic models for 10 Caribbean islands. The island I'm living on today, Curacao, and all the 8 islands of the Eastern Caribbean, and also St. Martin. So the guy who did not believe that he could understand macroeconomic models when he was at the university, the guy who would dive away when the professor would ask a question or ask somebody to solve an economic problem, that guy 30 years later has created 10 macroeconomic models from scratch by himself. What does that say? I'm going for the first tip. The first tip is that although you have fears and limiting beliefs regarding data, you have to confront that limiting beliefs. You have to just confront it. Now, how did I confront it? My first, when I was doing my internship, I decided to choose a topic regarding gathering data. So I chose, when I was about 25 years old, I chose for my internship to just confront my fears and do an internship where I had to gather data and put all those data together. It was in 1995, and it was about the a uniform wage rate for Curacao. So nobody understood that wage rate. There were, I think, 4 wage rates in Curacao, and I chose to analyze what would happen if you would raise all those wage rates to one higher wage rate. You see, so I confronted my fear. I didn't think like limiting beliefs. I cannot do this. There were things in my head. I cannot do this. I'm not smart enough to do this. What if other people think, what would they think about me? What if this doesn't work? I am not that good with Excel. I am not good with collecting data. I am not smart with all those formula, etc. What happens if I cannot understand that formula? All those limiting beliefs. So tip number one, confront your limiting belief. Now, the second limiting belief I had was programming. Programming, because I was very smart. Later on, I became smart. But programming, from 2000 till 2006, I worked with in the energy sector in the Netherlands, and there were many bright professionals. There was this guy, I will not mention his name. He was programming Visual Basic. He was programming Access. He was programming all kinds of Visual Basic in Excel. And I was not a smart guy. I was just punching numbers and pressing the buttons that guy had programmed. So I had a limiting belief. The next limiting belief was, I am not so smart that I can understand a do while. I cannot understand the routines. Programming is too difficult. So I looked up at those guys. Of course, I worked very well with them, but I looked up at those guys who were querying the database. I was not so smart doing that. You understand? So the next limiting belief, how you confront that is just by being open to learn. So the second tip, I'm telling you, being open to learn. So don't mind if you cannot do that. Don't mind if you have limiting belief. Don't mind if you have fears regarding it, but be open to learn. What do I mean with being open to learn? Being able to experiment, being able to check new things. Because the most of the people, they do not want to learn. They settle with their limiting beliefs and they say, okay, I cannot change. I am not that smart, but I cannot change. This is fixed. And by the second tip, with being open to learn, I mean that you really think that you can change. Now, I'm going to show you something right now with programming. And this, because I was open to change, in the past 4 months, I was able to learn programming, learn Python programming. I was able to buy a couple of books and then just dive into those books, 2 books. Dive into those books. I will put the links below. Dive into the books and into those books and just try new things. I was able to engage with my friends who are really good data scientists with Python and create projects and work on those projects during the last 3 months. So I'm going to show you something right now so that it may scare you, but I'm going to show you how easy it is. So I put that limiting belief out of my mind. I put that fear of programming out of my mind. And second thing, I was open for learning new things. Okay? If you are open for learning new things, no problem. So let me show you my screen. I'm going to show you my screen. I'm here. And I'm going to go to you see the page. So hopefully you can see this yes, hopefully you can see this this screen. And now I'm going to query for you Google. You see it? Google Colab Online Jupyter example. Boom. Leave. So I'm going to this because I learned Google Colab. I just learned this Google Colab and I tried it, and I'm going to try it. So let me just show you Google Colab. What is it? This is kind of a programming environment online. So I'm going to put this, Control C, I'm going to put this into the comments so that you can click on it later on. But what does that mean? This is a programming environment. So although I had limiting beliefs, I cannot program, I confronting and I'm changing things. I'm experimenting. So let's experiment. What is this? I'm going to just run this scenario. You see, this is a scenario here. Seconds in a day is 24 times this. So this is just printing seconds in a day. So how does it work? You can just insert a code in here. When you insert a code, this is a new line here. And when you press that button, it executes that comment. And when you press that comment, it will just show you. So let's try 3 plus 3 and then enter. So you see that's 6. So let's try something more difficult. So I'm going to code here, put another row in there, and I'm going to tell you, let's try 1 very big number divided by 99. And then press again. See, that's the number. Now let's try something really enter the code and then try really difficult. Print, you should experiment and confront your fears and limiting beliefs, said Rooney. Now, print, and then it's printing. It's printing. So although I don't know this environment, I have seen that there is an environment online, and I can just, without installing anything, I can go to that and then experiment with coding. Now this is a more difficult one. I did not do this, so let's try this one. Let's just run this one. Let me see. Let me just run this one, and then you see that visualization in there. You see? So it's something like a sample visualization. So let me see if I can just change this thing. Right now, I didn't experiment this. I'm going to change the 200, and then it's going to be 5,000. Let's see if the formula changes. Maybe there is a mistake in it, but I don't care. You see? Boom. Hey, this is another different. So you see the change. So I am able to influence this code. How cool is that? How cool is that? Now let me go back. Let me go back to just show you. So what did I do? The second thing, I just experimented. Like yesterday, I saw this Google Colab, Jupyter Notebook, and I just experimented with it. I tried it. I was not afraid. I didn't say I am not changeable. I cannot change. Okay. So the third thing I want to tell you is you have to. Third thing to destroy your fears is whenever people who are farther than you on that topic, whenever they are around you, whenever you have an opportunity to surround yourself with those people, grab that opportunity. I grabbed that opportunity with a friend of mine in the Netherlands. He is an expert with Python programming and with electricity, load, demand, etc. His name is Wouter. And I am affiliating myself with him. I'm surrounding myself with him. I'm chatting with him. I'm asking him. I'm calling him my guru. And then another friend of mine who's like a senior Java developer who's also doing Python programming. I'm surrounding myself with him. You see, I'm engaging with him. I'm asking him questions. I'm doing some projects with him. So I'm considering myself, although I have years of experience with macroeconomic models, I'm considering myself junior programmer, and those guys are senior programmer, and I'm advancing. So that's the third tip I'm going to give you. Surround yourself. Now, so you can surround yourself with me in my community, and you can surround yourself with a coach. You can surround yourself with people who are already doing what you want to do. So I'm very specific. I chose Python programming for data analysis, and I'm surrounding myself with these people. Okay, now let me close out. And before I go, I want to share with you an opportunity to grab a cheat sheet. And this cheat sheet is a cheat sheet for the 54 key variables to understand any economy. As you know, I've created 10 macroeconomic models. Now this cheat sheet will give you the 54 key variables. And if you have the 54 key variables of any economy, you are able to construct more than 250 variables. So focus only on these 54 variables. You see, I am experienced in this area of creating macroeconomic analysis, of doing data analysis, grabbing data, turn it into analysis, and from the analysis and information, create the right policies. Whether you are a policy advisor or an investor, you need to understand macroeconomic models. And as you know, I'm currently finalizing my experience about the Chinese economy. So what I want you to do is click on this link. The link will be available soon. So the link is already there, and I experimented. I put that link in there, and after this workshop, after this webinar, this live show, I'm going to put that link. So the only thing you need to do is grab that link. I will put that link in here. Again, HTTP Kalmera.nl/waitlist. So what are you wait list? This is the wait list. So once you click on that, put your name and email in there on a form. You will be on my list in my community. You will be part of my community, and that community is the community that I share information with. Information that I do not share in here. And that community will be the first one to receive notification when my next program about China, about the Chinese economy, about the impact, the Chinese impact on the world, Chinese economic impact on the world, when that program opens. And the program will soon open, and it will not open very, very, very often per year. This is the first time that a program, a unique brand program, will be opened, and the first people to get notified will be there. Will be the people on my list in my community. So make sure you become part of my community. It is free. That's the only thing I want you to do right now. Click on that link below and become part of my waiting list. And what are you waiting for? You are waiting for the next opportunity to really, really move into becoming the big analyst for economic models, the big analyst for Python programming later on, the big analyst to understanding what an economic what the economy of a country is about, how it works simulation with that economy, all the data, etc. So I'm giving you the 54 key variables, and I do not give that information. So make sure you grab that. So I will see you this week on Friday at 4 o'clock my time. Same time, same place, 4 o'clock this. Let me see. No, let's do it Wednesday. Sorry. Today, Monday. Next episode will be Wednesday at 4 o'clock, Curacao, Willemstad time. See you next time. Bye. Till Wednesday.